Lady Lily back with another video, and this is another episode of Scarf Chronicles. No, I'm just playing, but this is the Quad Season 2 Episode 5, and this is Native Son. So the show opens up, there is a step show on campus, and it's Sigma Mu Kappa, and it's showing Bryce. Bryce is stepping, he's involved with the fraternity, and all of a sudden it just shows him, getting paint thrown on him and like he's washing away. So I guess that's like a dream that he's having, or just a thought that he's having. It goes to Eva. Eva is meeting with her lawyer who said he is looking into her past and questioning her past, just to make sure that nothing comes up unexpectedly during the trial. And Eva was saying that, while you're asking about my past, you should be digging into the cop's past. And he said he pretty much did. And, he had 7 complaints against him from people, but they have been dropped. And the latest one was from a guy named David Hill, who was moving forward with pressing charges, and all of a sudden he dropped charges too. From there, Bryce get a visit from his dad, and his dad is questioning him about why is he having doubts about, joining the fraternity that he was pledging. But little do they know, Bryce is not having doubts. Bryce got dropped from the line, but he couldn't fix his mouth to tell his dad so. So the dad left, and then Sid was trying to talk to Bryce about, you don't have to, follow in your dad's footsteps. You could pave your own way. And Bryce was telling him, pretty much be quiet. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be in this mess. So he said now he got to figure out how he can possibly get back on the line. So Eva pays David Hill, the one who was a guy who was also harassed by the police officer that she's trying to press charges against. He works at a garage, and he said he started out, but he pressed the charges, but he decided to change his mind because he wanted to move on from that. He was wrongly accused, and he just wanted to get on with his life. Eva is trying to convince him to join forces with her and testify, but he's not interested in testifying against the cop, but she leaves him, her contact information just in case. Sid goes to talk to Miles, who is over the Sigma Mu Kappa fraternity, and he's trying to convince him to get Bryce back on the line. He even kind of threatened him, say that he would be willing to go to Dr. Fletcher and tell her what kind of activities the fraternity is engaged in. Miles from there tells him, do what you want, but just know if this fraternity walks off this campus, so it's internships, job opportunities. And he also said, just think about it, you're taken away from, the mission and the community that we help and the people that we serve. So something to think about. Cecil is heading, is on his way to campus, and he noticed that there's police stops along the route to campus, and he is driving, and he is seeing various students being harassed by the police. From there, he busts into Eva's office, telling her that she needs to do something. And he said he felt that she could have handled this whole situation a different way, because the backlash and the outlash that the students are facing, that he feels that is based upon her actions. Meanwhile, the students are in a meeting. They're trying to discuss about what they can do to stop these police checkpoints. Sid is pretty much telling them that, we need to go to Dr. Fletcher. And they said, how we going to do that? He said, I'm going to text her. She did give out her phone number, but surprisingly, that whole telling everybody texting is going to lead to mass destruction. From there, Junior talks to Bo-John about how he just feel it's funny that Bo-John can get in a fight and throw a punch and still remain on the team. However, he's off the team right now due to his grades. Caesar go visit some of his old music friends at a nightclub, and they're encouraging him to come, and play with them one evening. He meets a young man that's part of the band who's kind of standoffish and somewhat rude to him. So the guy who is over the band, you all know him as he used to play. He was the character Kyle Barker on the TV show Living Single. So this is Kyle and his band, and they're telling Caesar when he's ready to come join them and play for one evening. Eva is hanging out with Dr. Caldwell, who's supposed to be her girl, and she is telling her that that the students are protesting via telephone. They're sending her all types of various text messages, and there's been a series of them throughout the day and night. And then Dr. Carver said, well, you was the dummy that gave up your phone number. I would have never did that. And then Eva was just asking her, are you over here as a friend or are you over here as a colleague? And then she said she told Dr. Carver that she should have gave her the heads up on blocking the sale of the building. And she said, Dr. Carver said, it's not about you. I was doing what was best for the university. Then Eva goes in and tells her the truth of what happened. Eva tells her that, she's no longer, wasn't in her prior, she told the reason why she was not in her prior position anymore. And she told her that she was cheating on her husband with a graduate student of the university. And the school gave her two options, either one, resign, or number two, get fired. Dr. Caldwell, although she looked like she was trying to be a good friend and be concerned, her wheels was spinning. It was like almost like she could use that, like, to hear some information I can use against you. And she got that I'm going to tell look. Bo-John is leaving the store. He is like he picked up a gift to give to Tanisha to apologize. And all of a sudden he's confronted by the guy from the party who he punched. But this time he's not alone. He comes with 3 friends. And they just start jumping Bo-John really bad, like beating him to a pulp. And they're video recording at the same time. And they just left him there. Meanwhile, his gifts for Tanisha are across the ground, and Tanisha's not even answering her phone. They recorded the fight. Next day, Junior finds Bo-John in bed, beat up, and he tell him, it was the dude and his boys from the party. He asked Junior to go tell Coach that he's sick or something, or make some excuse up to cover for him. And he said, okay. But Junior do want to go settle the score, and then Bo-John was like, no, just leave it alone. We don't need to go there. So Caesar is back at the nightclub, and Kyle Barker and the band invites him to come up and play. The little young guy who is the drummer of the band is really not feeling it, and he's actually rude. And they even, so Caesar get up there, he playing, he doing his thing, and then they on a break, him and the young man end up getting into it, and the boy walks off. And he just tells Caesar, don't worry about it, just chill out, and we'll be back up to do another set. Eva is approached by the harassing police officer that from the prior episode, and he told her that he pretty much, she need to stop what she's doing. She's not gonna win. And he tried to spook her. So a police car rides up, and here I am thinking that, okay, Eva's gonna be safe. The police give the man in the squad car a nod, and he just, just pulls off like he got some type of rank or power, like the guy was scared with him. And the police that was in the squad car so happily to be a black man. So Eva just don't know what she's going to do, but he goes off, and she gets in her car, and she's just really upset. Coach goes to see Junior ends up telling Coach that, Bojan had a little freak accident. He's not feeling well. Then he was saying, if his feet still working, well, he can still come to practice. And then that's when Junior told him that he pretty much got beat up. So some of the guys on the team was like, wait, let's go. Let's go settle the score. And Coach said, you all are not going anywhere. So, but Coach decided he would go and tend to Bojan. So Coach goes see Bojan and tell him, you look pretty bruised up. We need to go ahead and get you to the hospital. And that's when old Bojan Daddy comes back into the play. And then he was just telling Coach, I thought you was going to take care of him. What are you doing? And then he was like, you lost one quarterback. You might end up losing two. So the coach was telling the daddy that he should be the one to take him to the doctor. And the dad said, no, he's taking him. And then he told Bojan, you're going to, do what I tell you to. The news have hit the campus that the spring holiday party has been canceled. Pettyway, Caesar Diamond, and Dr. Cardwell are meeting. And they were saying, why did Dr. Fletcher cancel this event? And so I guess this is a big thing that normally happen. And I even said had confront Eva and asking her why this party was canceled. And she was saying, we really just can't afford it. Her goal right now is trying to sustain the university financial, not trying to have a party. But back to this, back to the meeting between these three. They was pretty much saying, I guess this is a known event, it's the highlight of the year, and she took it away. And then Dr. Carver mentioned that, when the time is right, we're going to go ahead and cut Eva loose and let her go. So they're, taking that to, they're taking that in. Eva goes back to tell David Hill that the policeman had harassed her. And then she said, I know you don't want to testify, but I'm letting you know I'm going to testify for the both of us. And she goes off. And he said, I guess you don't give up. She said, yeah, I believe in being persistent. From there, Kyle comes to visit Cecil at his office. He told him he think he should go ahead and try to be a mentor to the young man that was in the band and gave him a hard time. And Cecil said, well, I don't got time to pick up strays, in other words, or deal with nobody. I got enough fish to fry dealing with the students that I have to. And he said, you may want to deal with this one because he's your son. And then Cecil like, I don't, Cecil was in there look like, I don't got no kids and blah, blah, blah. And he was telling him pretty much his mom told him when she was on her deathbed and told him not to tell her son or anyone. But he said he just felt the need to have to tell him. So that made Cecil stop and think. And all this time, Cecil really didn't know that he had a son out here. So David Hill ended up meeting Eva in the parking lot. She's terrified. It was kind of creepy, to meet her at the parking lot. And then she said, how would you find me here? And he said, well, look at your parking spot. So it was her designated parking spot. But he did tell her to go ahead and put him on her witness list and that he was willing to testify and move forward with charges as well. Cecil goes to meet up with his son, but his son is not interested, he was just saying, why would you wait this long? And, Cecil was pretty much saying he really didn't know. And then he told the boy, well, you know where to find me when you're ready to talk. From there, it shows Eva laying in bed. She gets a text from her DA friend. And apparently there was multiple criminal charges that are going to be pressed up against the police officer because apparently several people have now come out to, want to testify against this cop. And they even, David Hill has even stepped up to do that. So Eva is feeling like things are going to turn around. Justice is going to be served. So Eva, she the bounce back queen. She got a man already. And he was getting dressed. I'm assuming he's a doctor or a pharmacist because he was telling her that he can't continue to give her these prescription drugs. And she was just saying she's under a lot of stress. She just needs something. This is only temporarily. So I'm like, well, damn, she messing with a dirty pharmacist, then getting backdoor drugs. I'm like, this is crazy. So yeah. So this is, I guess she gives up the cooch and he gives her the little drugs. I guess so. So it is time for the probate show for Sigma Mu Kappa fraternity. And I was just thinking, ooh, let Bryce be on this line. Let Bryce be back on this line. So the new pledgees come out and they reveal themselves. So it is Bryce. We seen that big guy who messed up in episodes before. And last but not least, the anchor of the line is Cedric. Now earlier in the episode, Miles did mention to Bryce, because Bryce kept approaching him about putting Sarah kept approaching him about putting Bryce back on the line. He said, you know what, you got a lot of heart, you got a lot of leadership potential, and I see some good things in you. Because he was going back to mention how he was, supporting Dr. Fletcher and how he stepped up at the students' meeting. So it kind of hit around in that little segment of the show that he wanted him to be on the line. But now he is a member of the fraternity, and thank God Bryson was back on the line and got admitted to brotherhood, and now he can make his daddy damn proud. So I guess in order for Bryce to have got back on the line, Sid had to make a commitment to join the line as well. But congratulations to them. So tune in next week. It looked like it's gonna be interesting. Like Sid and old girl gonna take their relationship for the next level. Looks like things are gonna get heated, or things are gonna get intense about this whole thing with Eva and this merger. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So hopefully, because we didn't have this quad last week, so we got it back this week. So it's been pretty decent this semester. So I say this season. So that's it. That's all. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. Peace out.